Formula One has seen this pattern before: a dominant car, an established team leader, and a young star who starts winning too quickly. The last time it happened, Mercedes got Lewis Hamilton versus Nico Rosberg, one of the most explosive teammate rivalries in modern F1 history. Now look at the numbers: 4 consecutive victories, a 43-point championship lead, and a teenager who keeps getting faster. Kimi Antonelli wasn't supposed to be fighting for the title this early. He certainly wasn't supposed to be leading it. But after Canada, something inside Mercedes has changed, because George Russell is no longer defending Mercedes from rival teams. He's defending his position inside Mercedes itself. And history suggests that's exactly when championship-winning teams become vulnerable. The scary part? Antonelli says he's still improving. And if that's true, Formula One may not be watching the start of a title fight. It may be watching the birth of its next era. Today we're breaking down why Antonelli's 4-race winning streak is creating a problem Mercedes never planned for, why Toto Wolff may be facing memories of Hamilton versus Rosberg all over again, why Canada's upgrade package could make Mercedes even more dangerous, and the hidden reason Antonelli's comments after the race should worry every driver on the grid. Because this story isn't really about winning races anymore, it's about what happens when the future arrives earlier than expected. Chapter 1: The streak nobody saw coming. 4 races, 4 victories: China, Japan, Miami, Canada. Kimi Antonelli has suddenly become Formula One's dominant force. At the start of the season, most people expected flashes of brilliance, moments of speed, the occasional podium. Not this. Now the teenager sits 43 points ahead of George Russell. And the scary part? He doesn't sound like a driver enjoying a comfortable championship lead. After Canada, he delivered a message that should worry everyone. He said he can't relax. He said competitors are getting closer, and he believes he must keep raising the bar. That's not championship pressure talking, that's championship mentality. The mentality that turns talented drivers into title winners. Chapter 2: The fight that changed everything. The final result tells only half the story, because Canada wasn't a comfortable win, it was a war. For much of the race, Antonelli and Russell were locked together, pushing harder and harder, searching for tiny advantages, neither willing to surrender. A day earlier, they had already battled fiercely in the sprint. Then the Grand Prix turned the pressure even higher. Antonelli later admitted some moments were right on the edge. Not dirty, not reckless, just 2 drivers refusing to lose. And that's where things become dangerous. Because every great intra-team title fight begins the same way: mutual respect, clean racing, friendly competition. Then the points gap grows, the pressure rises, and suddenly teammates become obstacles. Chapter 3: Toto Wolff's nightmare returns. Mercedes has been here before. Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, one of the greatest rivalries Formula One has ever seen. At first, Mercedes allowed them to race. Then came collisions, arguments, radio wars, political battles. Eventually, Toto Wolff was forced to threaten punishments just to protect the team. Now another internal battle is forming. Russell is still one of the fastest drivers on the grid. He's not going to simply accept becoming number 2. Antonelli isn't slowing down. And Mercedes suddenly has a decision to make. Do they let them race freely, or do they step in before things explode? Because history shows something important. Championship-winning cars are easy to build compared to managing championship-winning drivers. Chapter 4: The upgrade that changed the grid. There is another reason rivals should be nervous. Mercedes may have become even stronger. Canada introduced a major upgrade package, and the results were immediate. Another victory, another dominant weekend, another statement. But Antonelli himself isn't celebrating yet. He believes Montreal created a distorted picture. Tires behave differently. Track conditions change constantly. Finding the right operating window became everything. In other words, nobody really knows how much performance Mercedes actually unlocked. And that's potentially terrifying. Because if Canada wasn't the upgrade working perfectly, what happens when Mercedes finally understands it? Chapter 5: The face that defines champions. Now Formula One heads into Europe. Fast races, constant travel, relentless pressure. This is where championships are usually won or lost. The calendar becomes unforgiving. Mistakes multiply. Fatigue grows. Momentum matters. And Antonelli enters this phase with something priceless: confidence. Not arrogance, confidence. The kind built from winning 4 races in a row. The kind that makes overtakes easier, qualifying laps faster, championship pressure pressure smaller. But Russell remains right there, waiting. And one retirement, one bad weekend, one strategic mistake can change everything. Chapter 6. The one thing Antonelli can't control. There's one thing Kimi Antonelli cannot manage: expectations. A few months ago, he was Formula One's future. Today, many are already calling him the championship favorite. And that's when Formula One becomes dangerous. Because winning races creates pressure. Winning championships creates scrutiny. Every mistake gets magnified. Every radio message gets analyzed. Every battle with Russell becomes a headline. So far, Antonelli has handled it perfectly. No bold predictions. No championship talk, just results. But Europe is where pressure starts to build. And for the first time in his career, Antonelli won't arrive as the hunter. He'll arrive as the man everyone wants to beat. And that may be his biggest challenge yet. Maybe the most impressive thing about Antonelli isn't the victories, it's the mindset. No celebrations about the championship, no predictions, no bold claims, just one message: keep improving, keep pushing, keep leveling up. That's exactly how great champions are built, and that's what should worry the rest of Formula One. Because while everyone is focused on Mercedes' car, the real story may be the driver growing stronger every weekend. The future was supposed to arrive gradually. Instead, it may already be here. So what do you think? Can George Russell stop Antonelli's title charge? Or are we witnessing the beginning of Formula One's next dominant champion? And more importantly, how long before Mercedes faces its first true civil war? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe to GridPulse F1 News, because our next breakdown investigates a growing paddock theory. Is Mercedes creating a new Hamilton versus Rosberg situation, or something even bigger?